Land ho!
Made land.
No ice will stand in our way. That's a good inch and a quarter thick, and we're in a 12-foot Starcraft. Stern's getting ready to fire up his trusty Siva for a hot lunch. We finally selected a campsite, checked out a few different points, found one that was pretty secluded but not terribly steep banks to pack up all the gear. Got some pines around us too to kind of give us a little more cover and insulation and windbreak if necessary. Plus it already had a really nice fire ring right out on the point with a good 180 view of the lake. Stern, tell us about your modifications to your Siva.
I've added a piece of fiberglass stove insulator around the well where you heat the shaft here to pressurize the stove. That way it's a little less sloppy than just filling it full of liquid. It will burn out and dry up without creating any excess amount of soot. I'll place my screen on here once it's burned for a little while. These old stoves, you don't have to pump them up to pressurize them. They're self-pressurizing by heat.
These stoves are pretty dependable in the cold. If I had to guess now, we're probably somewhere in the mid-20s, maybe high 20s. Supposed to drop down a little bit tonight, but a warmer tomorrow. Oh, there we have Jet. Give you a quick tour of our campsite now while Stern waits for that to get going to get his lunch cooking. Right over here, we packed everything up from the boat. We did kind of go a little excessive because we're boating in. We're going to be doing some squirrel hunting for the next couple of days. Variable weather, and plus we wanted a cooler to take any game that we do harvest back out. And we got about a 3-hour drive home, so I'll give you a view here. Nice iced over cove up there. This is Cave Run Lake, kind of the main channel right here. Like I said, got some pines around us, a couple of hardwoods. Really the only sign of humanity that you can see, and there's no way I can zoom out that far, is there's some sailboats moored way over there. Here's our campsite. The fire pit will need a little cleanup here. We'll get to that once we get the tent settled, but lunch was the first thing on the docket. We also checked out that point over there, but thought that one might actually protect this one from the wind. It's been coming in kind of southwesterly direction. I was a little more impatient than Stern. There's evidence of my lunch, some Viennese sausage and some cheddar cheese. Back in this grove of pines, pretty good sizable stand. We plan on making our camp. Sometimes we go tent, sometimes tarp, and this was a tent occasion because there's some chance of rain and high winds later on. This is a gorgeous area, a lot of great forest. We'll actually be hunting on the other side of the lake. Maybe head over there tomorrow morning, if not this afternoon first. So once we get camp set back up, I'll give you another tour, and once we get everything fired up. So we're going to get our fire started for the night. We've got camp set up, and we'll do a quick walk through here in a minute. Didn't do a whole lot of work tonight because we're going to be here for a few days. Using the H60 Beast fire starter, the one I carry in my pack because it's going to last forever. Just got some dry grass from around the lake bed, dry twigs, some pine, and then our impressively harvested wood pile just from the downfall around the camp here. So usually this thing goes with one strike. Let's see if that holds true tonight. I think it's safe to say that it does. Also, feel free to be jealous of our excellent fire reflector that I turned around to cut some wood for about 5 minutes. And when I look back, Stern had already had this thing established. A little more oxygen under there. So we've got the full spread laid out here for breakfast. Stern's actually cutting into some Cumberland Gap Provisions hog jaw bacon. That is processed and packed about 5 minutes from where we live. Hauled that a couple hours, a little taste of home. We're going to fry up some eggs in the folding skillet here. Of course, we got some cheddar for some rolls that we're going to toast, a little bit of the bacon. I'm going to point out this skillet. It's pretty neat. Packs up flat. You can. I usually keep like my oil and a few other little things in there, just wrapped up in a bandana or slid down in a bag. But the folding handle, nice and sturdy. And as you can see, it's hollow. So if it gets really hot on a fire, really easy to just carve a stick out, and pretty much any taper will work to pick it up. So, oh yeah, look at that stuff. We're going to be covering some miles today, doing some hunting, so this will be the fuel that we need. That ice behind Stern, not sure how well you can see it, but that gave us some entertainment last night as the temperature dropped and it froze. It's all up in that cove, and then on the other side is actually one of the larger coves on the lake, and all throughout the night we could hear pops and cracks and whines and ever how else you want to describe the sounds that ice make. We camped back there in the MSR, just a little bit off of the point, trying to save a little bit of wind and things like that, and all in all it was a pretty peaceful night. Woke up this morning. What was the temperature, Stern? What was the temperature, Stern?
31 when I got up. Daybreak.
Yeah, so a little frosty, but not too bad. But we're gonna get some breakfast in us. Take a look at the map, find a place to go do some hunting, and maybe we've already selected a couple of pieces of wood from our firewood pile there that may become spoons later today. tighter shot here, Stern. Yeah, give us an example. How you gonna flip some bacon? Perfect.
We crossed the Cave Run Lake here earlier this morning to the Danny Boone National Forest area. We could actually hunt with modern firearms. We landed in a cove to the east side of the lake here, and we've been following the lakeshore trail, which is a lot of immature growth. It's been logged out within the last 50 years, and to get closer to a lot of the older hardwood trees where we're expecting to be kind of feeding areas for the squirrels, where we cut inland towards a couple of mountains here. We use as a point of reference, hoping to find more mature trees that are producing nuts. So we're going to bear northeast for a while, and then we're going to curve back around, connecting on the Sheltowee Trace, and then come south back to where we've landed the boat. So we'll get an opportunity to do a little bit of land navigation, and hopefully we'll find ourselves a little bit of dinner.
Alright, so Stern and I are back in camp, the other side of the lake. A much smoother crossing this time. Water's crystal clear as opposed to that really choppy footage from earlier. Didn't have any luck today. We covered a lot of good ground. How far do you think we went, Stern?
Probably between 5 to 6 miles total, but that's stopping and going as hunting generally is. And cover too many miles, you're not going to see anything. You're not going to have a very high degree of success.
Right, and we did.
Not that we did today anyway.
Yeah, we didn't have any success, even though we scoped out a couple of areas that had old growth hardwoods, signs of squirrel. We found acorns that had been chewed on quite recently, and squirrel habitat, and even a few nests, but we didn't hear or see anything. We did see some other wildlife. Spotted a deer. What do you think, Stern? Probably a yearling.
Yeah, it was by itself. I mean, it may have been a yearling, may have been a 1.5-year-old. Not to have been with its pair with its mother, but
yeah, it was in a pretty thick area and got away from us pretty quick before we got a better look.
lots of ducks, lots of seagulls.
Yeah, tons of seagulls are out there on the lake right now. Good sized flock of ducks.
more woodpeckers, and Rick would appreciate.
Yeah, we either saw about 400 or the same 4 all day long. Followed us the entire time we were in the woods. Oh yeah, something really cool. Yesterday I had spotted an eagle flying over behind our campsite here, and then today Stern saw a juvenile bald eagle as well. And then ironically, we were talking about the crows chasing the hawk, and sure enough, what was it, 3 or 4 crows chasing that?
About 3, I believe.
Yeah, 3 crows chased a hawk all the way across the horizon. We watched them forever. It was kind of comical because the crows were doing the real exaggerated call. So, well, we're gonna get a fire started, and no squirrel tonight, but we came prepared. So for dinner tonight, we decided to work smart instead of work hard. We had plans of cooking squirrel or whatever we managed to harvest today, but since that wasn't in the cards, we decided to break into our emergency rations. Stern is now toasting on the folding skillet over the Siva stove some of our half of a Kaiser roll. Then over here we have
Emergency rations. We will suffer.
yeah, this is really suffering. Over here we have 2 rice-a-roni cups, the kind that you microwave, but, oh, and that is a perfectly toasted half of a Kaiser roll. There's 2 rice-a-ronis there, and we actually chunked up a slice of Spam in each one, added some boiling water, letting them set, and then we'll add the sauce. Even though they're microwavable, they are pretty awesome with just some boiling water. And then we also got some stew if worse comes to worse, and if worse comes to worse comes to worse. We also, Stern brought a whole can of baked beans, but hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Ooh, forgot about that.
So we're gonna enjoy our dinner for the night, and maybe do another quick segment before we turn in or sit around the fire. Guess we'll just have to wait and see. Well, this concludes our trip to Cave Run. We got up this morning, made a little breakfast, packed up camp, decided we're gonna head back towards the truck and head south. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the trip. This is our first video. I think there'll be some more coming along though. And if you ever get a chance to come up to Cave Run Lake in central Kentucky, as you can see, it's a pretty great place to do some winter camping.